This is Paul Braran from TinkerTry. I'm here at VMworld 2016 US. And Arun from Infinio is going to talk to me a little bit about what's new since I last tried Infinio Accelerator about almost a year ago with Cheryl helping me out. So Arun, if you could introduce yourself and your title.
Hey Paul, my name is Arun Agarwal. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Infinio.
Great, so filter drivers, getting right into the weeds a little bit. I know there's new stuff and you're bragging about better speeds. Can you tell me a little bit about what's new since I last tried accelerating my low-end iSCSI target at Synology NAS, and I made it perform pretty well. Even a $200 NAS did a pretty good job with your caching layer. So yeah, what's new?
Yeah, absolutely. So we've since the time you tried the product, Paul, we've released a new version. It's our 3.0 product. It's built on the vSphere VIO framework, which is a new part of vSphere 6. We're fully VMware ready, which is very high level of certification. And by building a product in the VIO framework, we're able to get just incredible performance. So we can drive about 1 million IOPS a host. We can drive 80 microseconds of latency. That's been something that customers doing SQL Server and Oracle have been really thrilled with. It's a lot of good stuff going on. We have unified support for every type of storage you can imagine. It doesn't matter if it's fiber channel, iSCSI, NFS, DAS, vSAN, vVols. Literally, Infinio can support it all because of the VIO framework on vSphere 6.
Okay, so it makes it maybe simpler for you guys developing. You don't need to worry about if it's vSAN, vVol, or physical data store, or iSCSI or NAS, like you just said, NFS. All of it, just fine. What's the install look like a little bit? I vaguely remember, we got some VMs going. It's quite an automated script that deploys a bunch of OVA files, but it's hands off. I just kind of watch it do its magic, and I put it on an NVMe drive. So it was pretty speedy to deploy. It was no big deal. Now that the kind of underpinnings from VMware have changed, does that change the install experience much, or no? It's going to be similar if I kick the tires again on it.
Yeah, so the install experience, we've always as a company believed that admins are busy and you've got to keep the install brain dead simple and very, very fast. So we've maintained our 15-minute, no reboot, no maintenance mode install. So all you do is give us some information in a Windows wizard. It's click, click, click. It's like installing any application. And then you can accelerate your VMs. You can accelerate on per VM level, so you can decide you want all your VMs, you just want a subset of your VMs, just want a particular VDI pool. Again, it takes about 15 minutes to install the product, and if you're not seeing the results you want, it's very easy to take the product out too. So 100% software only, and we've really maintained that simple install experience.
Okay, so folks who visit my site tend to be IT pros that have home labs, or they tinker around with gear on their own. They're not all able to come to VMworld, and I see you've got a display of the UI. Maybe just a 10-second quick overview of what that UI looks like and what we're looking at, and then we'll get into how do people get it.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we're looking at here is our management console, and this is where you can accelerate various VMs and see some statistics. So what you're seeing here is at the top of the screen here, we've got an aggregated view showing that we're driving about 30,000 IOPS. This is just a demo server, and the average latency we're driving is about 150 microseconds, 0.15 milliseconds. You see these lines here, the purple line's the back end, the green line's Infinio cache hits, the blue line's the blended latency. And then down here you can see on an individual VM level, and what you actually see is that the VMs that are just doing RAM caching are as low as 50 microseconds. Some of the VMs using SSD caching go up to about 200 microseconds. So all really, really fast. So this is kind of the basic UI. The blue button up in the corner here, that's how you pick VMs to accelerate. If I actually just go up there and click on it, what you'll see here. I'm sorry. Yeah, here we go. What you see here is I've got, it's just a demo server, but I got all my clusters. Inside the clusters, I get all my VMs. It's a couple of clicks to just get them accelerated, get them moving, and a few hours later, the cache is warm, and you're getting this type of latency.
Wow, that's a great overview. Thank you for showing me the product. So this gets a little trickier with, let's see, I've walked around the floor and seen other storage vendors. Do you have some sort of relationship with other vendors, or I feel like I'm seeing other caching products out there? Can you tell me a little bit about what's happening there?
Yeah, so generally since we're storage agnostic, we sort of work with everyone. We've got customers using all sorts of servers, all sorts of storage. We're seeing an increasing amount of work in the both traditional converged and hyper-converged space. Generally, when people are thinking about any sort of converged infrastructure, they're not so caught up on, oh, well, your product runs in ESX, it's a server-side product, but solving a IOPS and latency problem, which are storage problems. When people are thinking converged, they're saying, I want the whole system to be better. So I think what you're going to see from Infinio is more and more work being done in the converged space versus focusing just on storage or just on servers.
Okay, and just a little bit about was it SanDisk or others. There's lots of read cache I'm reading about and hearing about and seeing. It's a little hard for maybe a home lab enthusiast to figure out what kind of read cache would they want to try out, and affordability concerns. Can you speak to that just a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, the thing that makes Infinio very different than, say, folks like some of that you've mentioned is we're really focused on caching and RAM. And we support SSDs, but it's a tiered cache where we put the hottest data in RAM, and then we evict stuff we can't fit into RAM into the SSD. And the reason we're so good at RAM caching is we do inline deduplication of our cache space. And so what that means is, you might give us 10 gigs of RAM, but we're going to make it look like a lot more than that. We can make it look like 40 or 80 gigs of RAM by deduping our cache space. So when you're talking about 50 microseconds of latency, I think Infinio is really the place to go. The other thing about having a RAM-only a cache that can run RAM only like this is, we talked about how the install is 15 minutes, no reboots. Well, if you don't have server-side SSDs, there's no hardware, so we can send you a link to the software. You can install it, be in your home lab or in your production at work. It just gets you up and running without any additional hardware.
Great. Thank you for making that distinction on how it works. And if someone wants to kick the tires, they go to Infinio.com, and then what do they do to contact and reach out to you guys?
Yeah, just go to Infinio.com, and there's all over the site, you're going to see free trial buttons. So click a free trial button, fill in the info, and we should get back to you quickly. We're pretty fast.
Great. Thank you so much for your time, Arun. I really appreciate it.